Hi Taurus, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and this is a reading for May 8th to the 14th. And so today what we're going to be doing, Taurus, is we're going to be taking a deep dive into what needs healing. And so we're going to be doing the Hermit's Lantern spread. And the Hermit in the Major Arcane part of the tarot is the card that really wants us to turn inwards and shed a light on those parts of ourselves that need healing. And that's called shadow work. And if you're unfamiliar with the term shadow or shadow work, I've left a video for you that I've done on how to do shadow work. I have complex trauma myself, so I've been in some intensive healing for a number of years. And I put together a video for you just to show you how I do it. For some of you that, want to try to figure out, what is this shadow work? How do I start healing? Because I know a lot of people, want to know how to start healing. And some of you may be on your journey already of healing. And so, and the rest of it that aren't have already clicked off. So this is the Hermit card. So a lot of times what we do is we look for some kind of a fix out there that's going to help us with the situation that we're in to deal with problems or issues or struggles that are coming up with our life. And it's always something on the exterior, Sometimes we'll turn to addictions, or we'll turn to other people. We'll turn to wait for some savior to come along and save us. But the Hermit card says, now's the time to go inwards, to turn inwards and find the answers inside of you. Shed a light on those parts of you that need healing, right? Shed a light on the unconscious part of you. Because the unconscious part of you, which is your shadow, is actually what is really driving all your behaviors. And it really shows up in pretty much, all our relationships, all the relationships issues that we have in our life with anyone, whether it's a colleague, a friend, or an intimate partner. The issues that come up in that are all issues that need to be healed from our shadow, because until we heal what we've buried deeply, what we've pushed away, right down, until we heal that, our patterns in our life are gonna keep repeating, right? Because you wonder sometimes why the same people show up in your life, why same things are happening to you. It's because there's some healing that needs to be done, and if you haven't healed it, it's gonna keep coming back. So we're gonna look at the first thing is, deep dive, like I said, into our healing. I don't always begin with what's in your shadow and what's coming up for healing, but today I thought, we're gonna do this this week. So we're just going to cut to the chase and say, okay, what's coming up for healing for Taurus today? And then we're going to look at where it comes from. What's its origin? And then we're going to look at how it's having an impact on your daily life. And believe it or not, your unconscious, like I said earlier, has the most impact on your daily life. And so we're going to see how that's affecting you today. Then we're going to look at how you can heal it. And finally, we're going to look at how will this change, sort of like what outcome is coming up for you? How will it change your life once you've healed this, once you've processed all the emotions that have come up with this situation that's sitting in your shadow that needs healing. So after I get done with these cards, I just bought this recently. I bought this new black and white deck, and I just love it. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. It's called the Tarot of the Abyss, for any of you that are readers out there. And it's become I wanted a black and white deck, and so I've been kind of sitting on it for a while, and I saw another reader with this deck, and I'm like, what is that deck? And so I decided, I went out and got it, and looked it up see what it was like, first of all, and I went out and got it, and I just absolutely love it. Fell in love with the pictures, and yeah, so we're going to use that today. I've been waiting to see for a certain reading to come up. So it's fairly stiff, so it's a bit hard to shuffle the way I usually shuffle. I'll have to work it in. All right, so let's begin, Taurus. We're going to ask what's coming up. We're going to ask Tarot what's coming up for Taurus's shadow to heal this week. What's coming up from the shadow? Nicely came out. So you have the Ten of Cups in reverse here. The Ten of Cups in reverse. And what's its origin? One card for the origin of this. The King of Swords is the origin of this. And in the third spot, we're going to look at how is it showing up in your daily life. Ooh, these cards come out nicely. Ooh, the Fool. The Fool, how's it showing up? And finally, how can I heal it? Okay, I'm just going to take the first card that came out, which was this bottom one right here. How can I heal it? The Knight of Pentacles. This is how you can heal it. And one more card, please. I will clarify in a minute. Let's get to this one first of all. Okay. How will this show up in Taurus's life? The Five of Wands. The Five of Wands. All right. Okay, so the deck, like I said, we're going to be using is the Tarot of the Abyss by Tourian. That's the main one I'm using right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to, I will ask for some clarifiers. And let me just get a couple clarifiers for each. And I'm going to use the Radiant Rider-Waite deck over here. And I'm just going to clarify some of these. So let's clarify what's coming up. Let's clarify this Ten of Cups here that's in reverse. Please, one or two cards that will clarify this. The Ace of Swords in reverse. And we'll go with one more card for the Ten of Cups, please. There we go. The Two of Swords in reverse. Okay, let's go with clarification for the King of Swords, please. We have the Moon card in reverse. And one more, oh, almost came out. One more card, please, for this King of Swords. The Eight of Cups in reverse. And how about the Fool card? You have the Knight of Swords. And the Five of Cups. And the Knight of Pentacles. The Nine of Wands. One more card, please. You have the Page of Cups. And finally, the Five of Wands here. Couple cards. The Knight of Wands. Another Wand card. Ooh, too many here. I'm going to put them all back. Got 4 cards there and I don't want 4. So let's try. Oh, that one wants to come out here. The Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Good. So let's start off with what's coming up from your shadow Taurus. You start off with the Ten of Cups as your main card in reverse here. So let's take a look at this in an upright position. Yeah. Okay. This card is often portrayed as a family kind of. I've seen this portrayed as a family, and they're kind of sitting there enjoying themselves, and you have these cups all lined up here. The Ten of Cups is what I look at is it's the 10, so it's the end of the row for the pip cards in the cup suit. And the Ten of Cups comes in when you're in a position, oh, that was in reverse actually, when you're in a position where your emotions are flowing freely. So when you feel something coming up, you know that you need to pay attention to it. Excuse me. For example, I woke up this morning and I was just laying in my bed and I was like, I feel something. And I usually do, when I wake up in the morning, sometimes I feel something, sometimes I don't. And this morning I woke up and I could just feel, and I could just hear it almost like this, I don't want to get out of my bed. Why bother getting out of my bed? And so I knew that that was hopelessness. I was sitting with some hopelessness. Now, I had the choice. I had the choice to ignore it. What I do is I laid there for a bit more and I thought, okay, you've got to get up and you know that this is here and you can ignore it. Like you can just, get up and do your thing and whatever. But the thing is, it's always there. And so for me, I know that when emotion comes in for me, I can feel that there's something coming up. I know what to do with it. I always go and journal from it because I know that that has to come out of my system. It may not be necessarily like related to anything, but all I know is that there's a part in me that feels very hopeless. And so I'll go and write from that part and you know, and hear what it has to say. I do parts therapy, by the way, which I'll talk about parts a lot of times in here. So, but the Ten of Cups here is in reverse for you. So this tells me that your emotions aren't free flowing, because our emotions, like I said, are supposed to flow in, and they're not, and to flow out. So it's like you're stuck on a particular emotion, or you could be like literally stuck on, maybe you're getting a lot of anxiety in your life or a lot of stress, and you could be sitting in hopelessness, or maybe you're sitting in anger or some grief. You could be sitting in some grief that you've been sitting for a while. So, but your emotions are not flowing in and flowing out like we're supposed to. So there's some resistance here to feeling certain emotions, and that's why we get stuck sometimes, because we don't want to feel certain emotions that come up. And the next two cards that are coming up here, and this is in your shadow, by the way. So what I'm seeing here is there are some emotions that are sitting in your shadow that are blocked, okay? Because and that is because we've pushed them down. We don't want to feel them, so they're sitting in your shadow. And the Ace of Swords is coming up here, and the Ace of Swords is in reverse. And this is kind of going to explain about these emotions that are blocked in you. The Ace of Swords is a card that comes up when it's an offer from the universe. It's a gift from the universe. It's the sword is all about getting back to who we are. And so, but it's in reverse here. And so there's the true person, your true authentic self is hidden. It's hidden in your unconscious. We go about our lives, every single human on this planet puts on these masks all the time. Our ego tells us to put these masks on in people, and we don't show who we truly are. But the person that you truly are is hidden in your shadow, because this is the sword of authenticity, and it's blocked right now. But the universe says, listen, here's an offer for you to get back into your body, to start to feel some of these emotions that you're blocking, that you are resisting feeling, so that you can get at who you really are. There's some really good stuff that's sitting in your shadow. The shadow just doesn't have what we think is the bad stuff about ourselves. It has, like I said, underneath all those layers, we chip away at those layers, you peel off the layers of the onion, and gifts will come up for you. And then the Two of Swords comes up right here. And the Two of Swords is also in reverse, right after the Ace, which is really interesting. And again, this is mental energy. The Swords is all about the mental energy we have. And so I'm seeing that you're kind of sitting in a crossroads, which makes sense here. It seems like it's a real stuck decision here. Like you have a decision to make here. This person, but you've kind of put your blindfolds on and you don't want to look at anything. So my sense is that, yeah, there's some stuff there's emotions in there that need to be felt, that want to come up for you to feel in order to start chipping away and finding out who you really are. And so there's a choice here to be made, whether or not you're going to continue to kind of avoid these emotions or not, because there's a real resistance to doing that. And so where does this come from? Why have you blocked these emotions? So in the second spot here, excuse me, we have a king. Oh, interesting. We have the King of Swords that comes out. Look at this individual here with his sword. The King of Swords. The King of Swords, the king in my deck. Oh, excuse me, I'm having some trouble with my throat, which is not abnormal. The king in all my suits represents that masculine part of us. We all have a masculine part and a feminine part. Has nothing to do with your gender. So most of us, we live in a patriarchal society. So most of us are very much in our heads, very much in our ego, and that's kind of what drives the show, right? Is that masculine drive forward, kind of just, push through things, put our masks on. And, he has that authentic sword right here. But the masculine side of us, that king, our ego, doesn't believe in authenticity. If anything, the ego is the one that's going to say, no, you need to put these masks on. It's not safe to show who you really are. And so somewhere down the line when you were younger, you developed this sense of it wasn't safe to be you. It wasn't safe to be you. You weren't allowed to show your true self. You may have tried and you knew that, well, no, I have to do what I'm told. Society tells it to us. Our parents tell it to us, people that raised us. And we just kind of get this sense of how you're supposed to behave in society and how you're supposed to be. And we have this, this bag full of masks that we pick from every time we meet a new person. And we're just petrified to show who we really are. And the ego's coming out here and saying, no. And this is where this is coming from, right? So you have a real strong ego that protects you. And by putting on masks, because you're afraid to show who you really are. But buried in your shadow is your authentic self. And the moon card comes out right behind it. So, it says what's coming. So this is the origin of it still. The moon card right here that's in reverse. And the moon card talks about, like, the moon is an amazing thing that we have that just is incredible. And it represents, there's so much energy that comes from it. So many things that are unknown. It's, what really is incredible to me is how it can actually, bring in the tide and pull it out and bring it in and pull it out when you're sitting there watching the ocean. And it's just incredible how it has this force, right? And it really represents the unconscious things that we're not aware of. And so there are some things here that maybe you're not aware of, right? There are some things that you're not aware of because we're not aware of everything. But there are some things from your childhood, from growing up, that you're not aware of. And this is preventing you from putting on these masks. And it makes sense that you take them and we shove it down. When we look at our shadow, we can pull things out of there that we don't even know what's there. We don't know what's buried in our unconscious. Some of us have an idea of sort of things coming from our child and that, but we really don't know because we've buried this for a reason. They were unsafe to us, and so we put them away, right? So you have some things that are unburied that you're not aware of. And the Eight of Cups comes in, and the Eight of Cups is a card where you decide, and this is still speaking about the origin, where you've decided to walk away from and kind of get some stillness and figure out what it is that we need to reflect on. And so I'm seeing here that the ego has really prevented you from, when you were younger, being your authentic self. And so there are some things that you're unaware of here that the ego is definitely covering up. It's the origin of all of this. And the 8 is telling us that there's some stillness definitely that's needed to get at these. And I'm seeing there that in order for you to get at this origin, there needs to be some real stillness in your life, because I don't see the quiet and the stillness right now of your situation right now. So, or you could interpret that also as a card of, walking away from something. So I'm seeing that maybe it could also be that this is definitely the origin of this is something that you've blocked or you walked away from, and it's now hidden because it probably was very painful at the time, and this ego of yours is really blocking it, and that's why you can't see it. And so how is it showing up in your daily life right here? Well, you're afraid to take this jump. Like the Fool card shows up when it's time for movement. So there must be something that you want to do because the Fool has come out. And so I think that what's happening here is you're sitting in a situation where there's a decision that needs to be made. There's something that you want to do. It could be anything, taking your life in a new direction. And the Fool card has come up here. And I think this is affecting your ability to be able to just jump and take that leap of faith that the universe has your back. And so there's some real fear here to take the new step. And a lot of times when we want to take that new step in our life, we have to figure out what this is that needs healing. So this is what's blocking you. So what is it here that, why are you afraid? What is this? What's this unhidden part in your shadow that's making you afraid to take the new step? Because I'm seeing here that you want freedom. You want freedom. This is the freedom. This is the Knight of Swords. The knights in my deck are all about freedom. They want freedom. They want freedom to be authentic. They don't want to be controlled. It's an adolescent part of us that we all have. Just think of yourself as, you want this freedom to do what you want to do. Adolescents want the freedom to do what you wanted to do. So maybe when you were an adolescent, you wanted nothing more than to be free of control, to be free to be authentic. And so this part of you is coming out here. You have the Fool that wants to jump, that wants to take their life in a new direction. You want to be free. Maybe you're sitting in a relationship right now where, you want to be free from it. And it could be controlling. It could be controlling you. You might feel like you're trapped in the relationship. But it really is something that's just, you want the freedom to be you, to be authentic. And don't forget here, because we opened up and what's coming up from your shadow was you wanting this offer from the universe, you wanting to be authentic, wanting to be you, the chance to be you, who the real you is. And then the Five of Cups sits right behind it here. And interestingly enough, remember the Knight of Cups here is I call them my freedom fighters. They're the adolescent part of us that wants to be free. Think of an adolescent that is told no. Well, same thing with my knights. If my knights are told no, if my knights are feeling constricted in any way, they're going to feel anger and they're going to feel hopelessness. And I'm seeing the Five of Cups coming up here, and I'm seeing you sitting in a real position here of depression, hopelessness, and not feeling like you see a way out of this. And really, really like feeling like you're stuck in this situation that you're in right now. And you're focusing on those 3 cups you see, and the water in the background, that's where our emotions, it represents the emotions that are supposed to flow freely. They're not supposed to get stuck. But you're sitting here stuck in, we talked about you being stuck in a certain emotion, the 10 of Cups being in reverse. And so I'm seeing here that there's some real hopelessness on your part because you want freedom. You want freedom. You want freedom to be you finally. And you're feeling it, you're tasting it, but you can't make that move. It could be a lot of fear here, a lot of fear. And I'm wondering if, that because of what causes this. And a lot of times our ego can come in. Our ego that you have sitting here in the shadow, your King of Swords, our ego is a part of us, the masculine part of us, that's full of fear. Just full of fear. So whenever you want to start something, you're going to hear a voice in your head that almost kind of sounds like a parent that says, no, you can't do that. Don't do it. That's dangerous. Or, you know, what are you thinking? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Why would you do that? Just anything like that that you hear, that's your ego. And that's what's happening here is you're wanting to take this direction and take your freedom and go somewhere and do something. You know, there's something about wanting to walk away here. But the ego is going, nope, status quo, nope, can't rock the boat. That's the ego. And so in this fourth position is how can you heal this? You need, it's time. Like the Fool doesn't come up unless it's needed, unless the universe is literally wanting to take you and push you off that cliff. Because it's time for movement is what the universe wants. And so what you need to do is you need to heal that part of you that is scared, that it sounds like there's a lot of fear there, that you're, you know, maybe you're wanting to walk away from something and you're just petrified to do it. So how are you going to heal this? The Knight of Pentacles comes up here, another knight. And the Knight of Pentacles is, again, one of my freedom fighters. They want freedom, an adolescent part, but this time it's about Pentacles. Pentacles is about taking your life. Pentacles is about your self-worth. And Pentacles is about the body. And it's about getting grounded. And so this Knight right here wants the freedom to do what they want to do, to have the job they want to do, to have the health. Maybe it's you want freedom from this depression that you're sitting in, right? Maybe sometimes it has everything to do with our unworthiness. That's what Pentacles deal with also, with our shame or our unworthiness. And so we're going to look at what's coming up here, because you need to heal this there's some a part of you that wants to, you know, have freedom from probably, you know, this depression that you've fallen into. And I think before you can actually make this move right here, you need to start to look at and deal with some of that hopelessness that you're feeling right now, that you're sitting in. And because, like I said, the Knight of Pentacles wants freedom in that health situation, your depression that you're sitting in right now. It wants to move. But, you know, there's freedom there, but you have to deal with that. You got to get back in your body, and you have to start to feel some of that hopelessness you're sitting in. And, yeah. And so the Nine of Wands comes in, and the Nine of Wands is a card where Wands is a suit about creativity and taking our life into the direction we want. And sometimes when we start to take our life into the direction we want, like right here where you have this Fool, and you're wanting to take your life into this new direction, you're wanting to get this freedom, the Nine of Wands comes up and it says, well, you're going to have to start to set some boundaries. And that's how you start off very, very small, because you're feeling very deflated right now. You're feeling very, like the Five of Cups energy is something that's very, like you're sitting in that state of depression, thinking that, you know, what's the point? This situation is never going to change. And then this comes up and says, you know, you've been through a lot. You've really been through a lot, but it's time to start setting boundaries. Little ones with people around you in order to get you a bit stronger. And one last card that comes up for how can you heal this? Well, there's a little Page of Cups here that's sitting. Very interesting is the card here, for the last card here that's sitting in how can you heal this? My pages are inner children. It's an inner child of yours that needs healing. There is a part of you, and I call it my little love seeker because it's the cups. It's the strongest page in the deck. This is the little part of you that will go out and try to get the love from everybody around you. It's because you're seeking the love that you didn't get as a child. And so there could be a part of you, I shouldn't say probably, but because you're sitting in this situation, which sounds to me like a relationship that you may be sitting in, that you're feeling like you want freedom from it. Maybe you're wanting to walk away from it. And sometimes this little love seeker, this page here, it'll be it, and it's the inner child in us, the one that wants the love. It is the one that will stay in a relationship for the longest time, because there is this sense of security and protection and love. And we can have that. We can feel that in a relationship, even if it's not a good relationship for us, because that inner part of you would be really, really scared to go out on their own and take that freedom that they want. And so there is a little part inside of you that need to get in touch with, and you need to heal, and it's called your little love seeker. It's your inner child, and they need a lot of healing from their childhood, and that's coming up for you right now to heal. And so that once you heal that inner part of you, you're going to be able to take that step that you need to take. And so how will your life change after you've healed your inner child? After you've given them some attention, you've paid attention to them, after you've healed that wound that your inner child feels right now. Well, the Five of Wands comes in right now. And the Five of Wands is really a card about, you have these two birds here. They're battling over sticks, right? Battling over, maybe I've got the biggest stick and I've got the best one, and and so they're comparing themselves to each other. And so this card to me is, it's an unworthiness card. It's my shame card. It's that one where you start comparing yourself to other people. And so how is this going to affect your life? Well, you're going to stop. It's going to help you with your unworthiness that you're feeling. And because you're sitting in this Five of Cups unworthiness energy, this depression, and you have this little page, this inner part of you that needs healing. Well, the Five of Wands says it's going to help with your unworthiness that you're feeling. Once you heal this inner part, once you start paying attention to that inner part of you that is seeking, that's holding on to, trying to get this love from different people, and then you're going to start to heal. You're going to be on the road to healing some of your shame, to some of your unworthiness. And the Knight of Wands comes in, beautiful card here. It's part of where this is going to take you. How will it change in your life? Well, the Knight, you have 3 Knights in this deck. This is the third time. You're getting a Knight of Wands, you got the Knight of Swords, and you got the Knight of Pentacles. And like I said, a Knight is all about freedom from control. Freedom from feeling like you are controlled in a situation. And the Knight of Wands says, well, you're going to start to deal with some of your unworthiness. Not the Knight of Wands, the Five of Wands. And then the Knight says you're going to get this freedom. You're going to get this freedom to take your life into that direction. Once you get stronger, you're going to be able to take your life in that direction you want to go to. And the Seven of Pentacles comes up, because the Seven of Pentacles is like a card that says, you're looking, this person has hoed all these pentacles, and they've spent so much time on something, right? And in this case, it sounds like, maybe you've been in a relationship. It sounds like for a long time, you've committed yourself to some relationship maybe. And you're looking at it and you're going, is this it? There's more out there for me. There's got to be more out there. And you're going to start to see that. You're going to start to see that, yes, there is more out there for you, right? So I really feel that you're going to get the freedom that you want once you start to heal this little inner part of us that needs some healing. And so what I want to leave you with, Taurus, 2 things. I'm going to leave you with my May reading if you didn't get a chance to see that. And then I'm also going to leave you with a video that I've done to help you get out of this hopelessness that you're sitting in. It might be a playlist actually on depression and how to journal from these depression, these feelings of that you have, feeling trapped and not being able to get out and seeing no point in life. And so those two things I'm going to leave you with. And if you start to journal from a lot of these emotions that you have about feeling stuck and not seeing the point of getting out of this relationship, I think you're going to start to see a little bit of something opening up for you. This is what I'm seeing here. And you're going to realize that there is something more for you out there, Taurus. So take care, and I want you to have compassion for what you're working through right now. Stay safe. Talk to you later. Bye.